Welcome back to the DDD Sports Podcast. As always, joined here with Dante.
What's up?
And DC.
Yes, sir.
Last podcast, we were ranking our top 16 quarterbacks. And honestly, Dante, your list was weird, man. It started off weird with Cam and Jared Goff.
And it wiggled a lot. I had to take him off, man. I forgot about my boy Russ.
Hey, but don't worry. This is your chance to redeem yourself. We're going through top 10 head coaches. So we're leaving out the bad ones like Matt Nagy. We're leaving out all the bad ones. We're just going to go top 10 right from the top. We could talk about some honorable mentions where we mentioned our 10th, but we're just going straight up, right up the list, starting from 10. DC, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so for my number 10, this was hard, but honestly, he was in Coach of the Year talks a lot, and he rebuilt the franchise that needed it. I'm going with Brian Flores from Miami.
Brian Flores.
Yes, sir. I love this guy. He's defensive-minded. Everyone questions their quarterback situation right now. Is Tua the guy, right? Well, they still went 10-6 in Miami. They rebuilt that, and he was arguably Coach of the Year. He's making it work with questionable. He was able to split between Fitzmagic sometimes working and Tua sometimes working without missing a beat. They were competitive.
That is true.
They moved the ball. They played good defense. I got to put Brian Flores in my top 10 because next year I think they just get better.
Book it, too. That's my top 10.
I agree, but Brian Flores, look, don't get me wrong, but this is a crowded list. Brian Flores does not make my list. I think it's a tough list with top 10, and I went through it so many different ways, and Brian Flores is just not on it because, number one, he hasn't made the playoffs yet. I got to give it to more guys who's made the playoffs. I know he's inherited a bad situation. He's only been a head coach for 2 years. It's not good enough.
If you're not good enough. NFC, you're one of the best.
Here's the thing. Here's the reason why is because – with Fitzmagic, yes, he's inconsistent. And, yeah, you had to mix in Tua and everything. I think Fitzmagic on the Washington football team makes the playoffs this year. I've got them winning that division.
You haven't gone better than 10-6?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. I have them in the playoffs.
We talk about the tell-two cams, which Cam Newton we're going to get. Which Ryan Fitzpatrick are you going to get? Throughout his career, he has been inconsistent. 1 year he does good, gets a big contract, good contract, and then what happens to him? Plays bad.
I know, but
he had an inconsistent Ryan Fitzpatrick in a young Tua and rookie QBs, and Tua did all right for him to be a rookie QB. So come on, man.
I'm looking at my list and my honorable mentions that I left off, and I think I got Flores at 13. I think I got Flores at the 13 range. So I would put 12. I'd put Bruce Arians at 12.
Okay.
And I'd put Pete Carroll, who's not on my list. I'd put him 11.
You're higher on both of those guys.
I'd put him at 11.
I get it. He was successful. The problem is he's going to
Pete Carroll's not on my list, even though I think Pete Carroll's a great head coach. He's he's got multiple Super Bowls in Seattle.
Well, he's got one. He's got one.
He's been to multiple Super Bowls. I think he's an outdated coach at this point. My number 10. Wow, I've talked about everyone except for my number 10. My number 10 super underappreciated. I got Mike Zimmer at number 10.
I was finna put Mike Zimmer. I was about to put Mike Zimmer, then because I had Brian Flores around and Mike Zimmer around the same spot. But then once he gave the reasons for Brian Flores, I was like,
Miami's got a more secure quarterback situation, and they've had a consistently good
Mike Zimmer, he puts together a great defense every year except for this last one. He had too many young players. And his offense isn't bad either, and he always gets Minnesota in the playoffs no matter what they got. If Teddy Bridgewater's at the helm, they're in the playoffs. Kirk Cousins at the helm, they're in the playoffs. It doesn't matter who's hurt. It doesn't matter what's going on. Mike Zimmer's been steady, and he doesn't get enough credit in that division because Aaron Rodgers just overtakes everything and overshadows everything.
Mm-hmm.
When you play Minnesota, it's going to be a hard-fought game. He's the definition of an NFC North coach. I think Mike Zimmer, I think he's just number 10. He's solid. Yeah, and people were talking about him getting fired this year because they regressed, and there's no way.
Yeah, the defense got worse.
And the defense regressed, but it's because it was younger. Yeah. I'm telling you, you plug in most defensive coordinators into that system, and you get rid of Mike Zimmer, and the Vikings win 4 games.
Okay, who is he in your top 10, Mike Zimmer?
Mike Zimmer? No, he's outside. Okay. So I have him in the same category. I'll go through my honorable mentions right now before I go through my 9. 15, I have Ron Rivera. 16, I have Arians, but I think Rivera's better.
Vote Ron, you left him outside the top 10?
14, I got to see what he does in Washington.
Okay.
With a quarterback that can stay healthy. 14, I had Zimmer. 13, I had Pete Carroll. 12, I had McVay. And then my 11.
Sean McVay.
Whoa.
McVay's out of it.
Oh, you left McVay. Well,
Hey.
what's your reasoning behind that, though?
I'll tell you my reasoning once I get
All right. We'll wait until we get there.
My 11 it was really hard with him. McVay, and I'll just say it. Frank Reich from Indianapolis.
You left Frank Reich out the top 10?
He's 11. But that was tough.
My
only thing is
I left him
think
off too.
Indy had a better team, and Brian Flores walked in year one rebuild. Most of the time, those take 3-4 years. He walked in year one and said, "Okay, now that I get my choice, here's how things are going to work." We're
starting to lose it a little bit. So number 10, Dante put Brian Flores. Number 10, I put Mike Zimmer. Number 10, DC also put Brian Flores.
Mm-hmm.
Dante, you're 9.
I have a tie at number 9.
Oh, we're doing ties?
Yeah. So you're talking like it's 9 and 8, or do you have 11 coaches you're listing? That's not allowed.
I think we got to go top 10.
That's not allowed.
You got to pick.
I know it's hard. That's
I left Reich and McVay
because you can't have 11. You can't have 11 coaches on this list.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you move Brian Flores out then, and you're pushing 1 to 10?
Nah, I just.
Who is it? Come on.
Who's your 9? Got to pick him.
Let you give a second.
Yeah, hold on, man.
All right.
DC, you go at 9.
Okay, I got it now.
All right. Who's your 9?
Y'all not gonna like me for this. Well, actually, no, he probably will. Frank Reich.
Oh, Frank Reich?
I really like Frank Reich, man.
I like him too.
That dude, he's not. You wait. What do you go with the
Colts this last year? 11-5.
With a washed up Phillip Rivers and young receivers. Come on now, man.
Yeah, Anthony Lynn went with the Chargers right back when Phillip Rivers was still there. They went 8-8.
Yeah,
they were productive. I like him, and it's really if we're doing ties, here's a 3-way tie at 10 with Flores, McVay, and Reich.
Yeah,
so, I mean they're all young.
Reich's lower for me because I think he's unproven. I know he's done some good things with the Colts. He's still really young in my eyes as a head coach in this league. I have him sitting around like 14 right now. Mm-hmm. But if Carson Wentz resurges this year, he makes my list.
If he can get Carson Wentz,
if he was
the OC. Yeah.
If he fixes Carson Wentz, he's definitely on my list.
They got at least a top 10 QB for what? 2 first round draft picks.
A first and a second.
Well, no, the second is conditional. That second, if he plays over 70% of the snaps,
the first is
it turns into a first.
No, yeah. All right, so it's a third and a first then.
No, it's a second and a first. It's a first and a conditional second. If he plays less than 70% of the snaps.
No, it's a second and a conditional third.
No.
I'm sorry. It's a third and a conditional second. And if he plays 70% of the spot, then the second becomes a first.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You
right. We're getting off track.
So, you got a QB, you got a top 10 QB. If he can come back to where he was, a top 10 QB for a third and a conditional second, and that would turn into a first.
Yeah, that's a steal.
Yeah.
I think that's a steal too. And Carson Wentz has so much upside too. He played like an MVP back in 2017.
With Frank Reich as his OC.
Yes. So if he turns him around, he turns him around. If he doesn't turn him around, then I don't know. I don't think he's a bad coach because it's a huge risk reward, but he just doesn't make my list. DC, who you got at 9?
This one was hard, and I honestly feel like maybe he should be higher, but there's so many good names on here. I have Harbaugh.
Oh my!
Ooh, John Harbaugh at 9.
I
have him higher.
I can see why, and I want to hear his reasoning behind it.
Okay.
Is it playoff struggles?
That has part to do with it, and I honestly
because he's got a ring with Joe Flacco.
They had one of the best defenses.
One of the best defenses all time.
I know.
Probably top 5.
Yeah,
the Steelers team, the Bears team, the Broncos from 2015. Yeah. But and he's been consistent. Okay, and I'm not doubting that. It's my same thing that I had with, he's more consistent than all these guys that I have down here. We're talking Arians and Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll had better quarterbacks.
That's fair.
And he's consistent. He's good.
Yeah.
But I got to see what else he does with Lamar. We have to see if they can do more.
I get that.
Yes, and I think him not releasing Lamar more in the passing game. That's why I would put him. Because he's like in my 8 through 6 range. He's not because of the simple fact he would not change the offense to modernize it even more.
I respect that he modernized it in the first place.
Yeah,
but
I'll explain why he's higher on my list. When I say his name, I'll explain why he's higher on my list.
Okay, who you got at 9 then?
Number 9, I got my boy Ron Rivera.
Riverboat Ron, let's go.
Former Chicago
Riverboat
Bear.
Ron.
Look, this guy makes the most out of whatever situation he's in. This offseason, this guy literally beat cancer, took a team with literally no name, no culture, nothing established about their team at all. They had Alex Smith come back in the middle of the year. They had ownership problems. They had the whole sexual assault scandal happen up above him in the front office and everything. He inherited that situation. And say what you want about the garbage NFC East, he took them to the playoffs.
So let's say this. With a veteran QB, he went 5-1.
And I know all of this falls on Taylor Heineke, right? But you roll out on the field with Taylor Heineke and you take the Buccaneers to the wire. You playing better than I would say the Packers played them in the NFC Championship.
Taylor Heineke didn't even do bad. He did good.
He was a stud.
He took
that game was competitive. You go after. No one knew Buccaneers were going to win the Super Bowl after that first round. Once they beat up on the Saints in the second round, you're like, okay, they can win the Super Bowl. After that first round, no one was thinking Super Bowl. You were thinking, thank God they got out of Washington.
I want to see what Ron does with a quarterback.
I know. I'm excited for what they do in Washington this year. I think Taylor Heineke, and I think, like I said, with Fitzmagic, I think Ron Rivera takes them to the playoffs again, even if Fitzmagic's there all year.
They're even talking about getting another guy like Sam or like getting Mariota or something.
So
I'm like, you have a bunch of stuff to work
and with. And it's not only – and I know we're talking about current coaches and stuff, but this guy should not have been fired by Carolina.
Oh, no.
And one
he had a hurt
system.
Cam Newton was hurt.
Yeah.
And then you put in Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen is all right. He's not.
No.
I like Matt
He's a good backup in the league.
I like Matt Rule. He's unproven. He's young. I think he'll be successful.
He doesn't deserve the highest contract of any NFL head coach.
No, they should have kept Ron Rivera. And gave him a quarterback that can
Ron Rivera builds franchises. He builds. The only reason he's at 9 for me is because he doesn't got a ring.
My problem is I think Flores came in and turned stuff around a lot quicker than
Rivera. Yeah. I don't know. Actually,
literally, I have Rivera down here.
Ron Rivera is so close to the guy who's number 8 on my list. You guys won't like that he's this low on my list anyway, but it's just we're gonna wait. I'll talk about it more when I get back up there.
My turn?
Yeah. Dante, you're 8.
Number 8, Riverboat Ron.
Okay.
Ron Rivera. Same reason we're talking about him. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. My favorite QB is Cam Newton. So I always watch Carolina games when they came on TV because, the market in Dallas and stuff is always Cowboys games. But every time a Carolina game would come on, I would see the team's always well coached. Even though the offense was built around Cam, the only weapon he really had was Olsen. That's the only thing that the GM gave him.
Yeah, and then Jonathan Stewart in the backfield. Yeah, they didn't. It was pre-McCaffrey. I mean, Ron Rivera. Whatever he's got, he makes the most of his pieces.
When Cam had a healthy full year, he was healthy. They went 12-4. The next year he broke his back in that car crash, still made the playoffs. After that, they went 15-1. The next year they after the 15-1 year, they got Cam got hurt again. And then after that, with a full year of healthy Cam Newton, went 11-5. Every time he had a healthy veteran QB, it was 10+ years, man.
All right, DC, you just changed your board up. What'd you do?
So I moved Harbaugh to 8. Okay, and that's because I had a guy up top who I'm just thinking about. I got to see more of. I love his situation. I love what he did. But I'm gonna put Matt LaFleur right here.
Matt LaFleur is not my top 15.
Here's my
and it's not just because I'm a Bears fan.
Here's my thing. And I know he's 1 year, right? Or 2 years. He's been there 2 years, right?
I want you he's 2 years.
Move up Ron Rivera and put Matt LaFleur at number 8.
Oh, okay. All right. So we gotta re-say our list real quick because you guys keep doing all this moving. So look, we got all right. So on Dante's list, he's got Ron Rivera at 7, Matt LaFleur 8, Frank Reich 9, Brian Flores 10.
Here's my thing. Yeah, okay. We could go ahead and say it's all Aaron Rodgers, and we could say he's a stud, and none of that's wrong. The difference is why wasn't McCarthy doing it then? If he's nobody and he walked in with just Aaron Rodgers.
You've got I'm sorry to say, you've got Matt LaFleur. There's no reason.
It was an NFC Championship game, man.
And he hasn't gotten him over. Any coach in the league could take Aaron Rodgers to the NFC Championship.
That's not true.
Almost any coach in the league.
That's not true, man.
I'm telling you, listen to this. Look. I think what he's done. All right, that's an exaggeration to say everyone. But I'm telling you, look, I can go through my list right here. Right, so my top 10, I'm not obviously we're talking about right now. I'm only going to talk about my guys, right? Ron Rivera on the Green Bay Packers. Do they go to the NFC Championship?
Yes.
Yes. Mike Zimmer, Green Bay Packers, do they go to the NFC Championship? Yes.
Maybe.
Pete Carroll, Green Bay Packers, NFC Championship. Yes. Bruce Arians, they go.
No,
Green Bay
man.
Packers.
Come on now.
No.
Yes, Russell
No.
Wilson.
Oh.
Yes, Russell Wilson.
No.
Russell Wilson is not as good as Aaron Rodgers. Look, number 3.
All right.
No.
Look,
point is, who do I got at 8? Kyle Shanahan.
I'll give you that. I like Kyle.
Kyle Shanahan.
Higher on my list.
And Kyle Shanahan, I'm so close to flipping with Ron Rivera at 9. Kyle Shanahan, look, I think of all the young offensive minds, he's the best behind McVay.
Oh no. I think he's a. Oh, I think he does.
Who's your one?
He does more with less.
Oh.
He does more.
No.
He does more with less.
Here's my thing.
Listen.
Hold on. We were talking about coaches not being able to do anything without a stud quarterback, right? This dude made the playoffs and went all the way to the Super Bowl.
What, Jimmy Garoppolo?
No. Not Jimmy G. Jimmy G, who threw the ball like 10 times a game.
I know.
He had such a productive offense, found such a productive way to run, and found how to get the best out of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes.
All right. So I think we're arguing on who's better, McVay or Kyle Shanahan. The reason why I've got McVay above Shanahan is McVay adapts this offense so much. McVay's higher than 7 for me. McVay, he adapts that offense. Look. Hear me out. McVay adapts that offense so much. You go to the Super Bowl, right? You do it on Todd Gurley's back. Everyone's got it. They get absolutely held in the Super Bowl. The next year, he comes out with completely different offensive set. Top 5 offensive production season up there. Like, I'm telling you, he changes his offense so much. Kyle Shanahan, I agree.
Bro.
Kyle Shanahan, what he did with the Falcons, took them to the Super Bowl, and what he did with the 49ers, super, super impressive. How McVay adapts everything and overcomes his offensive struggles, and this is why. Jared Goff or Jimmy Garoppolo?
7, man.
I'd take Jimmy Garoppolo over Jared Goff.
Jimmy G too. I think the Rams had a.
I'm excited to see what he does this year with Matthew Stafford. Look, it's so hard to rank these, but I think they're both higher than
Can I
my
tell you
four.
this?
I think like my 6th
Yes.
or my 12th.
Do you agree with me? You talking about who? You said Kyle Shanahan has to have what to be good? No, we're talking about he doesn't have to have a good QB. That Sean McVay offense does not work. It does not go to the highest of his abilities unless he has a good running back. You saw what happened with Todd Gurley last year in LA, man. The offense wasn't going like that. Oh, when they got Cam Akers, a younger running back with fresher legs, it worked. That offense needs a freaking running back for it to work. Kyle Shanahan did running back by committee. Didn't have a straight out stud, but running back by committee. Took him to the Super Bowl and should have beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Jets just signed Tevin Coleman. You know why that wasn't ESPN news? Because he was a Niners running back. He's mediocre.
Running back by committee.
Mediocre running backs. No, I think he's great. I'm happy he came to New York. I think we needed another back. But he doesn't need a stud. Not in the offense anyways. Defense is good.
Only stud he has, bona fide stud he has, and he gets hurt a lot, is George freaking Kittle.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
All right. So I just want to restate this list again really quick, just to make sure everyone knows. Dante's got number 7, Ron Rivera, number 8, Matt LaFleur, number 9, Frank Reich, number 10, Brian Flores. I've got number 8, Kyle Shanahan, number 9, Ron Rivera, number 10, Mike Zimmer. DC's got number 8, John Harbaugh, number 9, Matt LaFleur, number 10, Brian Flores. DC, your 7.
My 7. Okay. So since I just moved LaFleur down and put Harbaugh, Mike Vrabel, Tennessee Titans.
Oh,
that's fair. I'll give you that.
So here's my thing.
He's not top
10. I know, and I know you want to do that, but look what he did with his quarterback, who everyone said is an absolute bust.
What do you do with Tannehill's good?
Yes, he's got a good running
fair.
back. But what other absolute studs are on that Tennessee?
Because you don't
want such a big
But
player.
then again, that goes back to the question. Because Miami, we all know, because it wasn't Adam Gase the head coach of Miami when Ryan Tannehill
No, he
was
was
there?
QB coach.
He was a QB. Okay, that's still bad with Adam Gase as your QB coach.
Adam Gase actually would be a great QB coach. He got what he wanted to out of.
He was a decent offensive coordinator too. He made Cutler look good in Chicago.
He made Mariota look like a starter, and then he made.
No, I can't give it. The reason why I say he's not top 10 Look what he did with Mariota. Look what he did with Mariota. He played him outside of his skill set, playing all these different offenses with him at first. And then they bench him, simplify the game plan with Ryan Tannehill. Just hand the ball with Derrick Henry. They go play action off of that. And guess what happened? Oh, yeah, Ryan Tannehill was looking like a stud. If he did the same thing with Mariota, or let's check this, deal with Mariota, more RPOs with Mariota, guess what? Mariota is doing the same thing Tannehill is doing.
The thing is consistent playoff team. Every year we go at the start of the year, we go.
It's only 2 years. Hold on.
Every year we look at them and go, maybe wild card team, and then they surprise us, and then they compete with the big dogs.
They were a wild card team this past year.
But they don't have a Aaron Rodgers. They don't have a Russell Wilson.
So I think Ryan Tannehill, I ranked him as my number 10 quarterback, and that's a lot to do with Mike Vrabel and Arthur Smith, who's not there anymore. He's on the Falcons. Yep. The reason why Mike Vrabel isn't higher on my list, he's a defensive coach. And their defense was bad.
You want to see what he does without
Arthur. I just think he's too unproven. That's why Frank Reich isn't on my list either. I'm not dogging you for putting him there. I just think he's too unproven for my list. I don't think that's a bad pick. I don't think he's there. I don't think you put him over Mike Zimmer, who's a proven coach. Ron Rivera, who's a proven coach.
My problem is all of these could wiggle.
They're all so close. So when you said all of these, you meant 7 through 12.
7 through 12.
On your list.
I added Ray from Indianapolis and McVay from the Rams. And I honestly think it depends on the season. But for next season, right now, I like Ray.
That makes sense. I can't dog you for that. He's just not on mine. I get that.
Who do you have at 7?
You guys probably have this guy up higher. Sean Payton. Okay. He's 7 for me.
I'll give you that.
Sean Payton.
I think he's high for us.
Look, I'm not a huge Sean Payton fan at all. I think
with what he had, he should have.
The only reason he's not higher on my list is
if it wasn't for Nikhil Roby-Coleman, he probably would have.
Yeah.
Wasn't for a horrible miscall.
A horrible miscall. I think Drew Brees need more than one Super Bowl or an MVP season. And I get that that's not 100% on Sean Payton at all. I look at the other guys above him, and the only one who's not more proven than him above him is McVay, and McVay's just personal preference for me. But Sean Payton, great coach. I just have him at 7.
Well, let's be real though, my guy. 13-3 in 09. 2000 Super Bowl champion.
What's the worst season they've had?
11-5. The next year after that, 13-3, 11-5. And he had those 3 years they went 7-9. But he kept those teams afloat, man.
I know
those teams are horrible.
That's a rebuild moment.
Yes, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Years, man. Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. So look, I put him at 7, but that's a byproduct of this list being so close.
And now let's be real. Our top 10s are all leading playoff teams. Like that's
or
could be.
Or could be.
Let's think about it. After those 3 7-9 seasons, 11-5 and 17, 13-3 and 18, 2019 and 2019, 13-3, and then 2020, 12-4.
I know. It's hard. I like him. I like him. He's consistent.
He's one bad call away from going to another Super Bowl.
Yeah, you guys can rank him higher. I agree with you. It's hard to make this list. He's 7, and it's hard. It's hard to put him there. Dante, you're 6.
My 6, my boy in Buffalo, McDermott.
Oh, okay. I have McDermott higher, but
wait. That's the problem I have with that. Dude, Sean Payton won a Super Bowl.
I know.
McDermott has not won a Super Bowl.
I'm talking, but this is what this list is about.
Now, man. This dude Sean Payton took a team that was affected by Hurricane Katrina to the Super Bowl 3 years later.
We're talking about right now.
But still, right now.
So I get that. So look. I get that, and I know what Sean Payton did. But if we're talking about all time, Pete Carroll would be on my list. Yeah, there'd be more guys that are on my list. Look, right now, next year, if we are gonna roll out a team next year, would I rather have Sean McDermott or Sean Payton at the helm of my team? I'd want Sean McDermott.
Oh, that's not.
He's younger.
He's more adaptable. I like what he did. I like what he did.
You're saying Sean Payton's not adaptable. Don't give me.
I'm not saying that.
I said he's more adaptable.
He's not more adaptable.
He walked in with his QB.
Just say that because he's young.
No. He walked in with his QB. Okay. So their jobs are linked, right?
Okay.
If that busts, they both bust. Ask your boy who's going to get fired because he messed up his thing.
Matt Nagy messed up the Bears quarterback situation.
He walked in and they came in. He changed the whole thing, built it exactly around their playoff QB, and went, okay, now here's a division winner.
Yes, Stephon.
Now look,
I mean, come on now.
Now look, Dante.
With the off year with the Patriots, man.
Dante, I'll give you this, man. If Sean Payton takes Jameis Winston-led Saints into the playoffs next year, he goes even higher up on my list.
Sean
because look,
But y'all say this dude was having 10 plus years.
Stop talking past tense.
He's still next year. Well, he had Drew Brees for the last 3 years. He had 10 plus winning seasons with a Drew Brees with a washed arm. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
But
come on.
I don't wash. I wouldn't give him a washed arm. I wouldn't say washed arm.
He couldn't throw the ball deep, man.
But look at all I'm saying though. I'm not trying to disrespect Sean Payton by putting him at 7. I'd rather have Sean McDermott though.
Preference,
that's it. It is preference. It's 100% preference.
That's
100% preference. I'm not saying you're wrong for thinking what you're thinking. It's all of these are so close.
So these are all playoff contenders.
I would challenge anyone listening to this podcast to make a top 10 because you'll quickly be trying to make it a top 15.
I had to do 32
hard.
just to be able to.
It's hard. DC, you're 6.
My 6. So it's 6. Oh, that's tough. Okay, my 6 and my 5 are interchangeable. But I have Mike Tomlin.
Mike. Oh, you have him higher or lower?
I have him higher.
I have him higher too.
Hold on. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. And I'll tell you why, because my 5 is who you just reeled off at 7. So I have Mike Tomlin here.
Okay.
That's good. Just leave your 6. Don't go higher than 5 because we keep getting too high up and then everyone's in different places.
Okay.
And it makes it hard to keep
Mike
consistent.
Tomlin is, consistency, Big Ben, working with young kids, making them work, building consistent playoff teams.
Yeah.
Everyone knows no matter what situation he's walking into every year, they're contending.
Yeah.
There's no point where they're going to go, well, crap, the Steelers are 4-12. Even now,
that's fair.
We all agree Big Ben's washed up. The wide receiver situation is questionable. The run game's questionable. Defense might be questionable, except T.J. Watt. And we're still looking at them 8-8, 9-7.
That's fair, yeah.
They're going to compete in that division no matter what. And that's with 2 other potential playoff contenders.
I like Mike Tomlin. I have him just slightly higher, but this is all based on preference. It's hard to put these guys where they are. And already I'm kind of regretting my spot of Sean Payton. But all right, Sean Payton's moving to 6 for me. Yeah, and replacing them at 7, I got Sean McVay.
Okay.
So look, it's hard for me to do this. McVay, I just think, is a slightly better offensive mind than Kyle Shanahan. And Sean Payton's it's so hard to rank this area of my list. And honestly, Ron Rivera, who I have at 9, is in the mix of these guys as well. I just look, Sean Payton's done this for so long. I know it's tomorrow. And the only reason I was thinking in my mind I'd rather roll out with Sean McVay than Sean Payton is because of Stafford compared to Winston. And that's a fallacy. That's not what we're going over with this list. We're talking about coaches. Exactly. That's why I switched it, because I said that's not his fault. That's the management's fault, and that's why it's the way it is. That's why I flipped it. I got Sean Payton at 6. I got Sean McVay at 7. Kyle Shanahan at 8. Ron Rivera 9. Mike Zimmer 10.
Okay, so my 5 hold on. Move everyone down.
Move everyone down. Everyone down. So you say move Brian Flores off the list?
Yeah. I have to do it to him.
Okay. So then who's your 6?
So 6 is my boy McVay, the wonder boy out of LA. He's too good to deny him off.
You guys are higher on
so you got McVay higher than I do. When you were talking about, so you really think you have Kyle Shanahan in your top 5 then?
Yes. Kyle Shanahan.
Okay, all right. So
Kyle Shanahan is number 5.
All right. Hold up. So your list then is Kyle Shanahan 5, Sean McVay 6, Sean McDermott 7, Ron Rivera 8, Matt LaFleur 9, Frank Reich 10. All right, talk about Shanahan at 5.
I say Shanahan 5. This year it was a wash. His team is basically almost like every quality star on his defense got hurt. This year, Garoppolo was hurt for most of the year. Kittle was hurt for most of the year, and that team was decent.
Bosa was hurt for most of the year.
Well, Bosa, he tore his ACL. That's one of the key defensive starters I was talking about.
Yeah, they missed half their team.
And look what he did when he got to San Fran. They weren't good, but when they traded for Jimmy Garoppolo, they didn't lose a game once they got him. Then the next year, I think that's when they went to the Super Bowl.
No. There was one more year in between where Garoppolo got hurt week 2 against Detroit at
That's
home.
right. Thank you.
Yep, he got hurt, and he missed that entire season. And then he missed that entire season after that, or he came back like late in the year when they were out of the playoffs. The year after that is when he took them all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yes, because he tore his ACL. Yeah, that's when he tore his ACL.
It tore his meniscus, something like that. Yeah, lower body injury.
And
then took him out.
And the next year they went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing like what? I think in the NFC Championship game he didn't throw over 20 times that game. No. They just ran the ball and they were gashing them.
They're so efficient.
And they should have beat Kansas City, but for some reason, when Kyle Shanahan gets into the Super Bowl, he doesn't know how to manage time. So that's why I have him at number 5.
So look, I think Shanahan, he designs probably the second best. He's probably the second best at designing a run game in the NFL, and he's not ahead of Harbaugh, who I still haven't mentioned yet. And we're getting to my top 5 because of that reason. That's why I've got him above it. And I like Shanahan too. I just think he's got to be below McVay. I think McVay's better. So that's why on my list I got McVay at 7, Shanahan at 8.
You guys are higher on McVay than I am. I have McVay in the same conversation as Frank Reich and Brian Flores.
So you have McVay. Where do you have McVay?
12.
12.
Well, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like if we're doing
it's all off preference. It's hard.
If we're doing ties, this is a 3-way tie.
Between honestly, Flores, Reich, and McVay.
Why do you have McVay at 12 though?
Because I just like how consistently productive. He didn't miss a beat when he had a bad
Frank Reich didn't miss a beat.
His overwhelming, okay, here's how this works. Didn't take 3 years to rebuild.
That's fair.
Went, there's a playoff.
I get it. I just
What other team that has a holy crap, do we even have a starting quarterback situation is going to go 10-6?
That's fair.
All I'm going to say, I'm really low on Jared Goff. I think McVay was in that holy crap, do we have a starting quarterback situation the entire time he's been a head coach.
I don't think he
was. I think Goff's more proven than Tua right now.
Yeah, obviously. Tua is a one-year quarterback. I think Fitzpatrick should have started all of last year.
Yeah.
And I think you give Tua a year to rest. This is the problem I think with young QBs. If you give them an entire first year where you don't have to throw them in, they're way better. Trubisky's much better if Glennon played that entire first year. The Bears would have won 2 games.
I know, as Patrick Mahomes.
He did, yeah. He missed that entire first year because Alex Smith started ahead of him. He played just a week 16 game.
Then, like obviously Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah, I agree. I agree, but I think in the long run it helps with their development if you let them sit a year. Like you look at some of these guys. Like some of these guys are gonna have to sit a year. Like what would be perfect? This is completely off topic. What would be perfect for Justin Fields is if somehow New England got him and he sits a year behind Cam.
That is true.
I don't think Trey Lance is that good, but if he sits a year behind Matt Ryan, or Kellen Mond, if he sits a year behind Matt Ryan, a lot
of people think Carolina moves up and trades for Fields, trades up Fields. To the Jets pick and draft Fields at 2, or Zach Wilson. Either way. And then you have Teddy Bridgewater.
If one of them sits behind Bridgewater, I think they're really good year too.
And I like Rule. I think again, you sit behind a consistent veteran. It did. I know Herbert walked in, but he walked in with Tyrod Taylor, and he got to work with Tyrod throughout the season.
And you know what? I think Winston's going to be way better than he was in Tampa Bay because of that.
And thank you. That's why I was talking to our football coach about this. He was talking about Winston is like he was kind of bashing Winston how he was with the Bucs. I said, this man never. I said
he played week 1.
Yeah, he played week 1. You didn't give him like veteran QB to learn behind. You gave him Drew Brees, one of the greatest QBs of all time, and now he learned behind him for an entire year. Let's go see what he does.
Yeah. I'm not saying the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl or anything.
Yeah. Did you see that they're talking about it and he's tearing up about the amount?
He cried talking about Drew Brees, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so DC, you're 5.
My 5. Okay, so like I said, it's really hard. They're both really consistent, really productive playoff contenders, and I honestly think they get really well. Like we're talking about whether QB stepping and taking the reins over for Drew Brees. I have Sean Payton right here.
Sean Payton.
And honestly, like I said,
I like Sean Payton. I got him at 6.
I like Sean Payton a lot. And him and Tomlin, I think Vrabel's my hot topic. That's up to you guys, whatever. But I like Payton and I like Tomlin. I think they're both consistent. I think that whatever they're walking in with, they can outcoach most of the league. So they can walk in with a not as good situation as you look at what they did against the Ravens, if we're talking Tomlin. They walk in, they contend. No matter what their QB situation was at the time, it's the same thing here.
Yeah.
Drew Brees injury. We don't know if he's here. You're picking between a gadget guy and, even though I like him now, and he sat behind Drew Brees, Jameis Winston, but it's good, but it's not like he's going to – can we all agree that Lamar Jackson is better than Jameis Winston right now?
Yeah, Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Anyone who watches that.
And still be confident that that one of these two could outcoach Harbaugh.
Well, this is kind of a side topic. Another reason why I love John Harbaugh off that list, honestly, with that offense they have now and how it is, I mean, they obviously changed it with Lamar, but the weapons they have, honestly, I don't know any other QB that will come in on that team and take that team to the playoffs. I honestly don't.
Yeah. So look, you were just talking about Sean Payton and Mike Tomlin being almost interchangeable at 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
My number 6 is Sean Payton. My number 5 is Mike Tomlin. It goes right off of that.
Mike Tomlin's higher for me.
I have Mike Tomlin just over Sean Payton. I've got just a few guys higher, and it's so hard to rank this area of my list. It's so anywhere from I have Mike Zimmer. I have him at 10, a clear 10. From 9 to 3 is all interchangeable for me.
Watch
this fair.
NFC.
Oh yeah, I've seen so much Zimmer.
I've seen more of Flores than you guys have. I understand why he's not on you guys' list. I just love what he did in Miami.
And then with me with Payton, I mean, obviously you're high on Payton, but you're from a different part of the country. I am. I'm in the South. I've seen more of Sean Payton's games and stuff. So I have him higher on my list.
Exactly. So it's all what we see and where we're from, and it's at this point it's all personal preference from anywhere from all the way up. I bet our top 3 is going to be pretty close. But
that's why I know he's not up here. That's why you're really high on Fangio, and I put him in the same
category. Vic Fangio, he's got almost no production in Denver, but I think he's already I would put him a top 20 coach, even though he's got nothing going on. Because look, this is the reason why if the Bears kept Fangio, if Fangio never went to Denver, Trubisky would be still the quarterback. He'd have a contract. The Bears might have
Fangio, a defensive coach?
Yeah, he's their defensive coordinator, their 2018 defensive coordinator. He was also the defensive coordinator of San Francisco when they were really good on the defensive.
Fangio's the next Ron Rivera.
He is, yes, I think so too. And they're doing him dirty right now in Denver.
They don't give him no help, man.
None.
I think, honestly, I've seen you trade Drew Lock for a second or third rounder.
It is. It's John Elway's mess up in there.
Because John Elway can never pick a good QB, man.
Yeah, and I think this was actually on the Instagram story the other day. Someone DM'd it, and they were asking if the Broncos secondary is a top 5 secondary. And I responded because I was on the Instagram at that time, and I said that they're easily top 5, pretty close to being top 3 too. And it's because of the acquisitions they got. Kyle Fuller, sad he's gone. Justin Simmons, who's their stud, everything. But it's also because Fangio will put him in the right places.
Yeah. He knows how to work that defense.
He knows how to work a defense like no other. And, that's a coach that we can't even mention when we're talking about top 10.
Dude,
there's no reason to mention him, but we have to because he's unproven. And that's why I got so many unproven guys off my list.
Cliff Kingsbury's all the way down towards 20.
I don't even think Cliff Kingsbury should be an NFL head coach.
I don't know. Cliff Kingsbury shouldn't be.
College, you should not get a head NFL coach job.
Cliff Kingsbury, because there's 32 teams, right? 7 new coaches in the NFL. So there's 25 new coaches. So there's 25 coaches in this NFL. There's 25 coaches. We're picking the top 10 out of 25. Cliff Kingsbury is number 24 for me. I got Zach Taylor 25 because he hasn't done anything. I would take Mike McCarthy over Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah. I would. That projector turned on again. That is so weird how it keeps doing that.
I think it was already on.
It just doesn't like Dante.
Just whenever Dante talks, the projector's like, all right, we're gonna turn on the background. Anyway,
you inside voices.
So number 4 for Dante. Here's when our list probably will get Sean Payton, number 4.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
What he did after Katrina? Look, if we're going, what he did after Katrina and everything.
Him and Drew Brees.
He doesn't go to a Super Bowl. He made it to NFC Championship. A lot of coaches don't do that. He's consistently gets his team for the past 4 years, consistently gets them 10+ wins. I mean, y'all can't deny his greatness. He's one call away from going back to the Super Bowl and when they played against the Rams, man. Come on now.
And Sean Payton and Drew Brees, like you're talking about Katrina. I'm like, I don't think if it wasn't for them uniting and turning that New Orleans Saints team into,
I don't think that city is as vibrant as it is now.
It doesn't come together the way.
No,
that city united. I mean, they're not even. They had people living in their stadium in the season.
Yeah, man.
They weren't even playing there.
Their stadium wasn't even. They had to do renovations on that stadium. They had holes in the roof, man.
Season.
They had people living in that
They
stadium.
didn't even have home games.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah,
that was
their
wild.
home games weren't. It was like with the Chargers when they played at that soccer stadium. Their home games they're not really home games.
Mm-hmm.
But with Sean Payton, man, you can't deny what he's done. Because think about it. Drew Brees, the last 3 years, won 10+ games with him. His arm is not the same. No. Last year, he won 5-1 with Teddy B.
Yeah.
And I honestly think part of Drew Brees' greatness helped with Sean Payton being where he went.
And it wasn't like Drew Brees was a surefire pick to QB.
No,
he was
coming.
Drafted Phillip Rivers to replace him.
And it's coming off, and this is coming off. They got him as a free agent pick, and I think he's obviously the best free agent pickup of all time. I think. Okay. It's hard. It's hard to rank them, but I would rank him as number one. I think he's a top 5 quarterback of all time.
Probably behind Deion number 1 when the Cowboys picked him up back in the day.
And I realized we didn't even talk on this podcast about Drew Brees when he retired, but what a career he had, man.
20 years
with everything going on. Yeah, and we're talking about Katrina and what the Saints did and everything for that entire city. Sports. You can say sports is whatever, but sometimes sports can change the actual community around a city, and that it did. The proof, if you're looking for one spot where that affected a city more than anything else.
Oh yeah,
2009, go down to New Orleans when that happened. It's insane. You got people literally
crazy.
Yeah, you got half the city, not half. That's an exaggeration. You got people living in that football stadium, and it's got holes in the roof. It's got everything. People are living in that stadium, watching the Saints play and watching them win a Super Bowl. It's huge.
They talked about the storms that rolled through Houston and how big J.J. Watt was, and he won Man of the Year and stuff like that.
That was nice. Katrina
was on a
worse.
Other level.
Oh, yeah.
Katrina is the worst. It's the worst natural. I think it's the worst natural disaster in America's history because of.
I'd agree.
Of what made it worse. Well, this is a little history lesson. Sidetrack from sports. The levees broke from holding back all that water, and all that water rushed into the city and just. Some stuff hasn't even opened to this day because of Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to get people to think about something other than every part of their life, every facet of their existence is now destroyed.
Yeah.
Everything has to restart. No businesses, no work, no homes, everything gone.
And we look at the small stuff that's happened here, right? We look at the fires that just recently happened. Up here in Oregon, obviously we saw it a lot, but all over the country there were huge wildfires that took people's houses and stuff, and those are huge. Those are life-changing natural disasters right there. And you look at
it didn't, but those are like you said, they're natural. My fault. What were you saying?
I was getting there was Katrina was such a large scale of that. Yeah. It was just crazy what the Saints were able to do.
Literally, almost everyone in that city had to re-evacuate. They couldn't re-evacuate. They had to go to the stadium. There was nothing they could do.
Yeah,
You look at the demographic of people. It hurt a lot of black people in that city, and a lot of it was lower income areas.
That culture, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I know we're doing a top quarterbacks list, but that had to be mentioned, especially since we haven't talked about Drew Brees and his retirement a whole lot. Wish him the best in his retirement. Top 5 quarterback of all time, I believe.
He's got a future somewhere.
He's in the broadcast booth. We'll hear him talk about games next year.
Or in the front office somewhere.
Someone has a theory about it. If he signs with NBC, him and Mike Tirico call the Notre Dame games. If he's good, they may eventually take over Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He's leader on and off the field. All right, so you said your number 4 is Sean Payton. Number 4 for you, DC.
And I had him higher. I had him at 3, but I'm gonna bump him down 1. Buffalo, Sean McDermott.
Wow, that is disrespectful to a lot of people on this list, man. 1 year, and this is his first year going to a AFC championship game.
Okay. And when you think about hot spots of places people want to live, and we talk about where people want to retire, you look at Dallas, you look at Chicago, you look at Miami, you look at LA. Okay. He's making Buffalo look good. He's got young guys on that team. I messed that up. That's fine. He's got young guys on that team. He's got veterans that want to play for him. They don't have a problem finding the free agents they want. They find what they need when they need it. He built Josh Allen into that system, built the entire offense he needed, and people are motivated and fired up. Buffalo fans are becoming Eagles fans.
Exactly. And it's Buffalo's never had more faith in their team than now. They went to 4 Super Bowls, and it's like they legitimately believe that they could win a Super Bowl.
But
you know, and it's. And look, we're talking – this is why you can put him up there, is because we're talking about next year. What coach do you want? And you're listing. Look, I get it. McDermott, obviously, if we're talking all-time, he's nowhere close. Well, I get that, and I get this is his 3rd year.
If you go off the recent work, I still don't see why you don't take Sean Payton, man. He has Sean McDermott has had a – okay, last year I'll give you that. Last year when they lost to the Texans in the divisional round, I give you that. But this year, they had Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen took a big jump, but still, Sean Payton had a washed QB compared to a young, talented QB that Sean McDermott had.
We've been talking this entire time about young quarterbacks, or young coaches, like Frank Reich. Like I said, I need to see more about him to make the list. Or Brian Flores, I need to see more about him to make the list.
I like him at 10, but yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, I have him at 8. Need to see more of him to move up. Sean McDermott did that for me. I saw enough of him to move him up, and he's actually my 4 too. So, like, I agree 100% with DC on this. I like him. And he's got that entire city excited. And, I mean, they aren't I have no idea. I have to do way more research. And there's a lot of stuff, the draft, everything. I see Buffalo in a Super Bowl next year. This can happen.
Even
this can happen.
They gotta
Look.
That's a big if.
It is a big if.
Kansas City.
Listen, that's why I said so many things, is because I'm not even picking that yet. I said I could see them. I could see them. Okay. And you know what? Yeah, they lost to Kansas City this past year. You give them a year, that game might look different.
But okay, you say that. Who did Buffalo add, and who did Kansas City lose?
Buffalo kept their guys.
Wide receiver talent. Buffalo had.
Okay, I'll give you that.
They got Emmanuel Sanders. And they did the best thing they could. They kept all their guys. The Chiefs, who knows what their O-line looks like next year.
It's going to be good.
It should be good.
Because they got
be good, but you got to see. Thuney's good. And Kyle Long, if Kyle Long is healthy, if he's healthy, yes. So look, I'm not saying that Buffalo is going to beat Kansas City next year, or that I got Buffalo ahead of Kansas City. I'm saying if they make the Super Bowl, I'm not surprised.
But next year, in a situation that he put himself into, because again, the reason I'm high on Flores is it's the young dude walking in and everyone goes, oh, I don't know. And he rebuilds the whole thing. Walks in with Josh Allen, the Mountain West quarterbacks, who, like I said, I don't like Mountain West quarterbacks in the league.
Why you say that for?
Just they don't have competition in college that's like
or is it because you're a Boise State fan?
Well, that's Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore. One of the best college quarterbacks of all time, if you look at it. Okay.
Yeah.
Lost 2 games in 4 years.
That's fair.
Okay. The Fiesta Bowl to Ian Johnson. Okay. Kellen Moore, right? Decent, okay, back up in Dallas, and now he's a great football mind.
And to be honest, the only reason why he's coaching now is because Dak Prescott, because after he dislocated his ankle in practice, Dak Prescott came in and balled.
Other than Josh Allen, the last overwhelmingly productive, and I'd argue he wasn't overwhelmingly productive, he just had a couple of years, was Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, and Colin Kaepernick, his NFL career has been a while.
And he actually beat Boise State with
you said the last one? Okay, that's fair.
But like I'm saying, I don't like Mountain West quarterbacks because they don't – when you get a guy at LSU or even Oregon or somebody in a Power 5 conference, they play – 12 to 15 corners that are going to end up in the league.
And that's why I think Trey Lance, that's why I'm a little worried about him.
Look what Carson Wentz did, though, my boy.
Let me ask you this. Name one other player in the Mountain West right now that's going to go to the league next year, other than Zach Wilson.
So, look, this is why we got to be worried about the Carson Wentz, Trey Lance comparison. Yeah, they're both from North Dakota State. The reason why that's not a great comparison is because Carson Wentz played there for 3 years.
But my dog, dude has
Trey Lance.
picks.
But he's played there for 1 year. And when you draft a quarterback who's played there for 1 year, if he does not sit a year in the NFL, he is in trouble.
Okay, Cam Newton did. Cam Newton only played 1 year.
Cam Newton's a dog.
Oh, that's fair.
Come on, like there's exceptions to that rule. But I just don't think Trey Lance is Cam Newton, and that's comparable. But we'll see. Who knows? Trey Lance might come in and prove me wrong, but who knows?
I like what McDermott did and his team. I mean, let's be honest. They're a hard. I hate Buffalo and I hate Miami. But when Buffalo rolls into the playoffs up against everyone who spent all year going, dude, Kansas City's the greatest thing to God's gift of football. Oh my gosh, Patrick Mahomes. And the young kid rolling out, Josh Allen, and the chip on their shoulder, Buffalo Bills walk in and go, okay, look at this. They're hard not to root for. And he did that. And so he's got to be up there. Next year, we're talking next year, number 4. Sean McDermott.
Number 3.
Guess
For you?
Wait. Okay. You have. Okay.
Yeah, because he's got Shanahan at 5. Has he put Harbaugh up there yet?
No, Harbaugh's on my top 10.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Wow, really?
Mike Tomlin.
Yep, Mike Tomlin.
I know who your 2 is, so Mike Tomlin.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone 1 and 2 is the same.
Yeah.
I just realized you were talking about him earlier, and you're hyped up. And I don't hate this. I get it. And
I don't hate it either.
I've noticed, I mean, you have here, they're higher than here, or than we have. You have here. I mean, you have the young guys who have great offensive systems, but you're favoring the old guys because they've been consistent.
And the way has worked to go to Super Bowl.
And it's just
except for Shanahan at 5 is your exception for that.
He's been to a Super Bowl though.
No, yeah. We're just talking about older guys' experience.
All my top 5 except for my top 5, every single one of them has been to at least one Super Bowl.
I get McDermott and Frank Reich.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Top 5.
He said his top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah, his top 5. Look at this. This is no. This is what we got to think about though. We're talking about how Mike Tomlin, Sean Payton's almost interchangeable. Dante, number 3, Mike Tomlin, number 4, Sean Payton. For me, number 5, Mike Tomlin, number 6, Sean Payton. For Dylan, number 5, Sean Payton, number 6, Mike Tomlin. Like it's all so close.
Yeah, they're very productive. A lot of years. Again, no matter what they're walking into the game with.
At least the worst you could say is 8 and 8, maybe 7 and 9. If you're gonna say
they're here to ball.
Yeah.
You don't care what quarterback, don't care how their defense is doing. They're
not gonna make any excuses about their quarterback being hurt and stuff like that.
They're here to ball.
Look, I'm higher on this guy. You guys are probably gonna laugh me out of the room for having him at 3. I got John Harbaugh at 3. You have Harbaugh off your list. DC's got Harbaugh at 8. I have Harbaugh at 3 because you look at what's the hardest thing to do in the NFL other than draft a quarterback and get a franchise quarterback.
Establish the run game.
Establish the run game. And Harbaugh has done that no matter who's back there. No matter who his running back is, no matter who anything is. You look at I don't want to talk about Ray Rice at all on this podcast. Made him good. You look at J.K. Dobbins pulling straight out of Ohio State, good. Mark Ingram.
No, J.K. Dobbins is a stud, man.
You look at him good. What I'm saying though is no matter who's in that system, they've got a ferocious running attack and a great defense, and they compete. It doesn't matter. They were the wild card with Joe Flacco, and they won. And I know he had a great defense, but you look at no matter what, everyone is worried about the Ravens in the playoffs, and they're the same way everywhere.
Put him third because he does not. He does with any other QB other than Lamar Jackson. I understand they changed. Like I said, they changed the offense to fit around him. But if you ran the same offense he was running with Joe Flacco, with any other QB with that team, other than like a top 5 QB, or maybe even a top 10, they're not doing anything, man.
Joe Flacco wasn't a top 10 QB.
No, Joe Flacco's not top 10. And you guys, I know they had a great defense.
I'm talking about after the
Joe Flacco is the Kirk Cousins.
But literally, we're talking about Joe Flacco, and who was their best? They had Steve Smith Sr. Did they have Steve Smith that year, or was he already out?
Steve Smith was still.
Or did they have?
He was on the way.
Or was Jacoby Jones their best? I don't. But honestly, the fact that you can't even remember it, he made that offensive side of the ball good, and I think he constantly puts players in the position to succeed.
And again, though most people don't realize how productive he's been for a while. But these guys, like we're talking about, I mean,
John Harbaugh,
McDermott, but these guys are consistent.
It's so hard, and they're all interchangeable.
Y'all say this. Let's be real. So after the Super Bowl, they went 8-8. They went 10-6 the following year after they went 8-8. They were 3rd in the NFC North, but lost to the Patriots in the divisional game. in the AFC divisional game. The year after that, 2015, 5-11. The year after that, 2016, 8-8. The year after that, 2017, 9-7. Only because Lamar Jackson came in and balled.
So you're telling me he found a way to take an absolutely dog trash.
Actually, I'm sorry. That's
Joe
right.
Flacco. Hold on.
They went 9-7. They went 9-7 in 2017.
So he didn't have to rebuild.
Yeah.
He found his quarterback he liked that everyone went, oh, he's trash. He's just a running back. He found him. He's been consistently competing even with Joe Flacco. That's the thing. Hold on. Sean Payton and Mike Tomlin both had Big Ben and Drew Brees they've spent with. John Harbaugh's done the same competing with Joe Flacco.
So Lamar came in 2018. I mean, he did so good because no one had
seen that offense.
Had schemed him, whatever.
Yeah.
But still, this dude, he doesn't have a good defense. His teams are not that good, man.
Don't tell me his teams are not that good.
Come on.
Don't tell me his teams are not that good. Look. I think all of these things are interchangeable at this point. I've got to put John Harbaugh there. I like him more than these other coaches. It's hard to do. All right, DC, who you got at 3?
Kyle Shanahan.
You've got Kyle Shanahan at 3?
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
That's fair.
Hold on. Before you dog me, it's the same thing that I just backed you with on him. He took Joe Flacco to production. He found his QB and he worked with it.
That's fair.
Who ranked Jimmy Garoppolo in the top 16 when we did
No one ranked him.
But we're just talking about other than the Rams and the Niners are going to compete for that division. They're going to be playoff moving if he's healthy. If he's not, they have the talent alone and the coaching ability alone in the run game. You could stick Trace McSorley back there and he can hand the ball off.
That's a stretch.
And complete, hold on. And complete 9 of 20 passes. And clearly it worked because you didn't need the quarterback.
Look, I want to see.
I think you can put his boy fired.
What?
You put the redhead.
Andy Dalton.
I'm just saying.
Fired Hughes.
I think you can put him in that. Not Trace McSorley.
I'm just saying Sam Darnold on the Niners. Are you telling me Sam Darnold?
Look. This is why I'm going to hate on Kyle Shanahan. I think McVay is better, and McVay is not in your top 10. And I like McVay over Shanahan. You two both disagree with me on that. Kyle Shanahan, we have to see him this year without Robert Saleh. Saleh is
the offense man was so.
We have to see.
I get that, and I like what he did as an offensive coordinator with Matt Ryan and stuff. Made Matt Ryan an MVP. I get that. Kyle Shanahan, I'm not trying. Obviously, I have him ranked 8th on my list, and anyone above Ron Rivera, it's huge for me. But I can't have him 3. I can't jump him over all these guys. It's so hard to do. It's just tough for me to do at this point of our list and what we're talking about.
I agree with you there. Saleh brings an amount of intensity. Like you watch film on him, and on the sideline, you have people holding him back.
They hired that guy too. The Jets actually hired the guy who hold him back.
To hold him back on the Jets. There's the amount of intensity he brings. That's why, dude. I have Saleh as the number 1 head coach that got hired this year.
Oh, that's fair.
But
that's biased because you're a Jets fan, but at the same time, I agree with you. I think Arthur Smith is also.
Arthur Smith was my number 2, and it's close. I like either one of them, and we're interviewing.
His main name Arthur.
Mm-hmm. I like Saleh because his intensity and like the way he walks in. He goes, "Okay, we're gonna do it this way. Let's go." And everyone who's ever played for him. I know I'm going off on the Jets a little bit. Love him. Richard Sherman almost went, "Okay, let's just go to New York because I trust this guy."
Where's Richard Sherman going again?
They don't know. Rumor is he might go back to Seattle.
Yeah, Sherman's not signed yet. Sherman can go a ton of different places.
Deshaun Watson, when they're talking about, where does he want to go?
New York.
He picked New York number 1. Why? Because he said Robert Saleh. He mentioned him specifically. Everyone who's ever played next to him, around him, been around him at all, loves this dude. Yeah. Not only is he losing that on that defense, they have enough talent that I don't think it'll show as much. But he built that defense and that efficiency. He's also losing passing game coordinator, Matt LaFleur's brother, Mike. I don't think that's going to be as big of a difference as Saleh, but he's losing a lot. That's another thing, we have to see about. Like I'm high on Mike Vrabel from Tennessee.
I think Robert Saleh's been the best recent defensive coordinator in recent memory, with the exception of Vic Fangio. And obviously, I'm biased. I'm a Bears fan.
Right, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. But I mean, again, I hear watch the
And two different coaching styles too. Fangio would sit up in the box and just coach him, and he's not a super animated guy from up in the box. And Robert Saleh would get on the field and put a helmet on if you let him. You know?
I love it. I love the intensity. I think it's great, and it's changed our system. But either way, I think what Shanahan's been able to do is insane. And when he gets Jimmy G back, everyone he makes Jimmy G look good. Everyone talks about, they barely ever lose when Jimmy G's the starting quarterback.
That's fair.
And none of us had him as top 16, even though he's healthy.
None of us
had Dak over him.
I'd take Dak over Jimmy.
I'd take Dak over Jimmy G.
I like Herbert more than him. I like Matt Ryan over him. So he's not a top half of the league quarterback. Why are we still looking at them as going, dude, playoff lock?
Kyle Shanahan.
Because of Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly.
And let's be real here. Does Sean McDermott make the playoffs without Josh Allen?
No.
If Jameis Winston does not do very well?
No.
Hold on.
I think they do. Make the playoffs?
No.
He said make the playoffs. We're not talking about being a contending run. I think they make the playoffs.
Hold on.
No.
We just talked about how
with Trubisky? Yeah, they do.
We talked.
Stop.
Hold on.
You're telling me he can't? He just made it on the Bears with Matt Nagy.
Talking about Sean McDermott.
Yeah. In Buffalo.
Yeah, he's not.
So look. You're telling me Mitchell Trubisky on the Chicago Bears roster from last year can make the playoffs with Matt Nagy at the helm, but Sean McDermott and him with Buffalo's roster can't make the playoffs?
Without Josh Allen, no.
And Mitchell Trubisky instead?
No.
That's off topic. Keep going.
They went 8-8. Let's be real.
Yeah.
The NFC was dog awful except for about 3 teams.
I know, but with the Bills roster?
Nah, man.
Come on.
Not in the AFC
now?
Not in the AFC.
Bills roster 2 years ago?
No. I'm not arguing for 2 years ago. I'm arguing. You said if you take Josh Allen off the team right now, so Mitchell Trubisky's the backup right now, Buffalo makes the playoffs.
No, not in the AFC.
Maybe.
Yes, even in the AFC.
Hold on. Here's the thing. Okay, so we're talking no stud quarterback. We've established Shanahan doesn't have a stud quarterback.
Yeah.
Any playoff lock, easy. Maybe division, depending on how good Stafford works in the Rams. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so McDermott, we're saying questionable, but maybe even I'll give you wild card team. Okay.
Yeah.
With a mediocre.
They're a lock for a wild card.
All
right. But keep going. I know your point you're making. Keep going.
Sean Payton. Okay. If Jameis Winston comes out and throws the same number of interceptions on a team that just shed a bunch of guys, are they making the playoffs? No, because the Buccaneers will. Okay, so he's gone. Mike Tomlin. We all just agreed that the Steelers aren't making the playoffs because Big Ben's going to regress. Okay.
Well, I mean, remember they went 9-6 with Duck Hodge. I mean, I think they went 9-7 or 8-8 with Duck Hodges.
They went 8-8 in that. I think the Steelers could make a wild card.
But the Browns and the Ravens are both better than the Steelers, so they're number 3 then.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And then you have the Chiefs, you have the Bills, you have the Patriots, who you're so high on. You have what's the other division in the AFC nobody cares about? Oh, Chargers.
No one cares about.
No. Chargers are
the Titans.
The Titans.
The Titans.
Titans could make it. That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Point is, I get your point.
Harbaugh doesn't
Kyle
make
Shanahan,
it without
Lamar, yeah.
He does. With a quarterback nobody had in their top 16.
See, look, so it's hard. I don't know if
that's my point. And
I get why you got him up
like
there.
You just said, we're talking about the Kyle Shanahan system that's making everybody else's offense work.
So look, it's all on preference at this point.
It is. These top.
I just don't think you could put Shanahan over McVay, but obviously I'm wrong. You two both think the opposite, but
I gotta see what McVay
we'll have
does.
to see. Yep, have to see what happens. I can't wait to watch the Rams this year with Stafford. I can't wait for Stafford to be in the MVP conversation.
All right.
Number 2.
Who is it? I think number 2.
We've all got the same two quarterbacks sitting at 1 and 2.
Before we hype it up, who is it?
Andy Reid.
Dante's got Andy Reid at 2. I've got Andy Reid at 2.
I have Andy Reid at 2.
Yeah.
All of us got Andy Reid 2.
So
that means, come on, if someone left Belichick off this list, everyone's got to have Belichick.
You know, Andy Reid, everyone was like, oh my gosh, the Cheeseburger Man finally won one. Because he finally won one. Such a great and deserving coach. Finally won a Super Bowl. He didn't get one early like Sean Payton. He didn't get one early like Mike Tomlin. He's been fighting for it, and he's been making quarterbacks.
And he's had explosive offenses no matter where he is.
And you take away
the biggest mistake.
They're great.
Oh, yeah. The biggest mistake, it doesn't matter who's the quarterback. The biggest mistake the Eagles have made in their franchise
was letting
him go for, I'm trying to remember, from Oregon. terrible coach.
Yep.
He was at UCLA a little bit. Chip Kelly. Thank you. I kept wanting to say Chuck, but that's not Chuck. It's Chip Kelly. Horrible move.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Andy Reid, automatic 2. I would love to go have dinner with that guy.
They were playoff contenders before Mahomes. They would be playoff contenders after Mahomes, and now they have Mahomes. He's got a great offense. He's built studs around them. We just talked about, he had the offensive line. We don't know. Playoffs can go either way. Young quarterbacks tend to run the AFC right now. But we don't know. But I have faith in him. I mean, we watched him outcoach him.
Yeah.
You're
talking Andy Reid outcoach Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. Kyle Shanahan is horrible.
Hold on. Let me get to my point.
When you say him, you got to say his name.
Yeah, we had Andy Reid outcoach Kyle Shanahan Super Bowl. Let's be real. Between him and Patrick Mahomes, that comeback was great. Okay.
I think that's more of a Patrick
Mahomes. You made this point earlier. He outplayed him.
Andy Reid outplayed Sean McDermott.
Yeah. And let's be real. If it's not for Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, he'd have another ring because we didn't think he would outcoach him.
Sean Payton outcoach Andy Reid. You can't keep saying him because I'm just restating the quarterbacks that you're saying. Like, say their names.
Let's be real there. And they're just no.
Yeah, no.
Nobody's bottom half of the slip.
Did he really get outcoached by Kyle Shanahan? Or did Kyle Shanahan was that bad at the time management?
No, Andy Reid outcoached Kyle Shanahan.
Time management that's the only reason why Kyle Shanahan lost that game.
I have a question. Wait. Where's Kyle Shanahan on your list?
5.
But why?
Yeah.
If you're saying he's not outcoaching Shanahan, why is Shanahan at 5?
Because he's won a Super Bowl. That's not his fault he won a Super Bowl. He didn't technically. Okay.
Hold on. If you're saying he won the Super Bowl because it wasn't coaching skill, how can he be up this high?
Okay, so actually, no, I take that back because that's his fault for not time management. So he did outcoach. He did outcoach Kyle Shanahan. I'm sorry.
Look, Andy Reid's the clear 2, I think.
Yeah, the Niners had a defense that nobody could mess with. Even the Chiefs couldn't mess with the first half.
Because Mahomes looked shook in most of that Super Bowl.
And he walks in at halftime and everything changes.
Why?
Reid, because he adjusted on the fly in the biggest game of his career and walked in with a young quarterback. I know Mahomes is a stud, but walked in, calmed his QB down.
Yo, Pat, calm down, man.
Listen, chill. Against one of the best, I think they were the best defense in the league that year, the Niners.
Yeah, I think they were.
2019?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it. 2019,
the Chiefs' defense has never been studs.
True.
So they beat, they had to come from behind
defense is painfully average.
How well Shanahan's run system was working.
Yeah.
But he outcoached him.
Yeah.
His only reason why he lost that Super Bowl is time management. He's horrible at it in Super Bowls. I don't know what it is with him in Super Bowls.
Yeah, because he did it with the Falcons too.
Yeah.
And I think that helped him. I think that Super Bowl, him losing it is why he's higher.
Dan Quinn. Yeah. I don't know. It's just Andy Reid, you just look at him, like we've been saying this entire time. Like I was just talking about Sean McDermott and the Bills and how they could be in a Super Bowl. You're like, they got to beat the Chiefs. People think, Patrick Mahomes, because that's how the NFL wants you to do it, wants to market these players. It's because of Andy Reid.
For years, it was they got to beat. Oh, wait, never mind. I can't say it. They got to be okay. I'm just gonna say it because everyone knows who we are.
It's no surprise who's won.
We have Belichick at one. He's the greatest.
No, I already said we all got Belichick.
But for years, it was you got to beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. You got to beat.
He didn't beat the Patriots if you think about it, because they lost to the Titans. But
no. My point is now. Yeah, I still think Belichick's a better coach than Reid.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
My point is now it's you got to beat
the Chiefs in the AFC now.
They're the new, and they're gonna be there a while.
Oh, Mahomes is still. I think this is his first year of his 10-year contract. So at least another 10 years.
So what are we thinking? Is Bill Belichick the best head coach of all time?
Yeah. No doubt.
I think so too.
Who would you put higher than him?
I just asked the question because some people could say Lombardi, or you talk about these guys. I think Belichick's the clear one as well.
The only you could probably say you can make a case for is 2 of them, Bill Walsh, and I say what Jimmy. I say Jimmy Johnson not just because I'm a Cowboys fan. That dude did some Bill Belichick
Jimmy Johnson
stuff.
Was such. I honestly think the Cowboys would have had much more success if he hadn't pissed off Your friendly neighborhood GM/owner/
Jerry
Jones.
All right. This is a little side note, but I mean, we don't have much else to talk about Belichick. He's by far the best head coach. Top 3 head coaches of all time. We've all got Belichick as 1. Who's your 2 and 3, Dante?
Belichick, Walsh.
Got 3rd?
I'll take my boy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. DC, what about you?
You go ahead. I got it.
All right, I got Belichick at 1. I got Vince Lombardi 2. And then I'm going, obviously, Bears fan bias, but I got George Halas 3. And that's and Walsh is 4.
That's
and
not
Walsh
Super
is 4.
Bowls. That's NFL champions.
I know, but the Bears got the most NFL championships. I don't know. It's just look. Walsh is an extremely close 4. Extremely close 4. I gotta give it to George Halas. You're up, DC. What do you got? So you got Bill Belichick 1. Who's your 2?
2.
Yeah. Number 2, head coach all time.
I gotta go Vince Lombardi.
Vince Lombardi? Yeah, I got
There's
him
a
at 2
reason
too.
they named the damn Super Bowl trophy after this.
Yep, I got him at 2 as well. Who you got 3?
I don't know. Like, the problem is we don't know what he would have done. And I honestly wouldn't have even considered him had you not said him.
Jimmy Johnson?
It's hard because I honestly think he would have done way more. I mean, he was. He was on. I mean, the Cowboys were the Niners.
They were rolling through the 90s.
Yeah. They were thumping guys. And it's pissed off his GM, and there he went. But
yeah.
I don't know. That bottom spot's tough. Like I said,
it can go a lot of different ways.
There's a lot of good coaches that, like, I mean, Andy Reid won Super Bowl so far. I mean, he's been to 2, but there's a lot of good coaches that are just like underrepresented because they don't have those stat sheets like that. But okay, I'll give you Jimmy.
I also like Tony Dungy too.
Okay, Tony
Don Shula's another one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. There's so many we can name.
Bill Cowher.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. There's so many we can name. It's so hard to rank these. But yeah, we've all got Belichick at 1 all time, let alone right now.
Yeah.
All of them.
And he's going to sit at the top of that list till he retires. There's nobody in the league yet to this day, and I don't think any of the young kids could get up to that level of domination that I could honestly say could walk in with an equal team and outplay it.
No, it's so hard.
Talent is the only reason that man's not winning more Super Bowls.
Yep, that's just how it is. So I'm just going to restate everyone's final list before we move on to the final minutes. Dante's got Belichick 1, Andy Reid 2, Mike Tomlin 3, Sean Payton 4, Kyle Shanahan 5, Sean McVay 6, Sean McDermott 7, Ron Rivera 8, Matt LaFleur 9, Frank Reich 10. I've got Belichick 1, Andy Reid 2, John Harbaugh 3, Sean McDermott 4, Mike Tomlin 5, Sean Payton 6, Sean McVay 7, Kyle Shanahan 8, Ron Rivera 9, Mike Zimmer 10. DC's got Bill Belichick 1, Andy Reid 2, Kyle Shanahan 3, Sean McDermott 4, Sean Payton 5, Mike Tomlin 6, Mike Vrabel 7, John Harbaugh 8, Matt LaFleur 9, Brian Flores 10.
That's fair.
Yeah, I encourage anyone listening to try and do a top 10 list because this was hard. I don't know about you guys. I wanted to do a top 15. After doing our top 10, I was like, hey, we got to make it a top 15.
I wrote out mine.
It was so hard.
32. I did.
It's just so hard to do. I don't know. It was hard. It was hard to leave some guys off.
I mean, I honestly
none of us got Pete Carroll in there.
No, Pete Carroll, no.
But it's like, but you're telling me.
I think he's still competitive. Like I said, like I wrote out everyone, and all the way down through my 16, so the top half of the league I have they're good coaches, depending on the year.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, Dante, final minutes. You got your topic for it?
Yes.
All right. Final minutes. Starting now.
I think it's a wrap this year in the NBA. I think the Brooklyn Nets are going to win the NBA Finals. I say this because there's too much offensive firepower, man, for them not to at least make it out of the Eastern Conference. You got Kevin Durant. I say he's a top 5 scorer of all time. You got James Harden and Kyrie Irving. And you talk about people talk about how's it gonna work. They made it work so far. They've been beating people with KD hurt, and they're just having Kyrie and James Harden. So I mean, And then they get Blake Griffin too. People thought Blake Griffin was washed. This dude dunked with ease his first game with Brooklyn. So, I mean, being honest with you, I don't see the Lakers doing anything. They didn't make any big trades. I think they're supposed to get Andre Drummond after he gets a buyout, but they don't get him, man. It's really a wrap. And I don't know how healthy AD is, man. So, I say Brooklyn Nets are winning it all this year.
Yeah, and LeBron's hurt now too, and AD's hurt, and
I got bodied by the Jazz last night.
Yeah, but Kyrie didn't play. Only one.
Is Kyrie going to play the playoff
I think
games?
so. Look,
Kyrie don't play the playoff games.
So I think that would be a fun NBA Finals. Is if it's the Jazz and Brooklyn.
The Jazz are so deep.
I think don't sleep on the Nuggets either.
The Nuggets,
the Nuggets just got Aaron Gordon too.
But for some reason, LeBron James will come back out for the injury, just go out on a tear before the playoffs. You know.
Maybe they're gonna have to fight from the bottom and do it, the Lakers. Because without
they're gonna fall,
they're gonna drop.
Because they're not good.
Trailblazers are moving up, Suns moving up, Nuggets moving up, Mavericks now finally look like a good team. The Jazz are gonna stand.
Well, you get Kristaps back. People will talk about Kristaps is actually a good player, man. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
is that my key?
Yeah, I think this is your room key. I've been messing around with his dorm key for the last half an hour. I don't know. I've been fidgeting. I don't. Always got to be messing with something while I talk. Oh yeah, you guys put Matt LaFleur up on your list at 9. I was like, oh no way.
This is one thing I did.
No way.
You put Mike Zimmer in the same spot I put Brian Flores because you've seen him a lot more than I have, and I've seen Brian Flores.
Yeah, we talked about it. All right, DC, your final minute. You got your topic?
Do, and it's totally a Jets fan thing.
All right, get to go.
You ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, 5 years from now, future prediction, okay? 5 years from now, and it's not going to be anything crazy, you know, and I don't think the Jets will win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. I think 5 years from now, Salah's here. I don't know if he's top 10.
I'll give you that.
But I think he's up there. Now, it's not crazy. I know, like you just said, okay? His intensity, and he's coming in, and this is how things are going to work, okay? And it's the same thing Sean McDermott just did. It's the same thing Mike Vrabel's doing. It's the same thing that Matt LaFleur's doing. It's the same thing Flores is doing. Great attitude. People want to play for him. He's motivating. Listen, and he knows what he's talking about. He's not Adam Gase. The horrible – he was a great quarterback coach, okay? I don't know. Everyone said he's a great quarterback coach because he got a lot out of Tannehill. Look what Vrabel's doing. But so is Arthur Smith. But Salah, telling you, 5 years, top 15 coach of the league.
Yeah, I don't think that's too crazy. Especially since you look at all the young coaches we got.
Like, 5 years from now, Jets, 4.
I thought you were about to say that. I was like, oh man, we got another bet.
Sam Darnold or Justin Fields, don't care who it is. This coach is so great. Are going to be up there with Brady. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
No,
I wasn't going to say anything crazy.
No, you said the most Jets thing ever, and I was like, oh, don't tell me.
That wasn't a bad. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Robert Saleh is a good.
I like so. Like I said, he's the best defensive coordinator for the time I've really watched football. He's the best I've seen in my lifetime, other than Vic Fangio.
Mm-hmm. And I love his attitude. We all play football.
I'll give you.
I'm thinking like since like I've really gotten into watching D coordinators and stuff. Like we're not talking about head coaches or better defenses.
Not consistently over time.
Yeah.
The Niners, even when they had bad QBs.
Hey, bro, I don't know. Dick LeBeau, that dude is raw.
Dick LeBeau is raw. I'm still gonna go Robert Saleh, but Dick LeBeau is good too.
You can't
go Robert Saleh because he's Jets coach.
Yeah.
But here's my thing though.
It's arguable.
Okay, I like him more than I like. Let's see here. Who are at my bottom? Like Joe Judge in New York, okay. Matt Nagy in Chicago. Okay.
Oh, you can't say that yet. He hasn't played a game yet.
Who?
He's ranking him over. He's ranking him over head coaches who've already played. He's ranking him over.
So you saying you're gonna have?
Would you rather have Robert Saleh or Matt Nagy?
Oh, I'd rather have Robert Saleh, but I can't say. But look. I can't say that he's better because he's never coached. He's never been a head coach before.
What do you mean? We all put Herbert in our top 15, and he played one season.
But he's played a season. This guy's not even played a season.
He's been coached for a while.
I don't know. I get that, but it doesn't always translate over that way. Who knows?
And I think, honestly, he's got the Shanahan system. I mean, clearly, we spent a lot of money in defense between pass rushers and stuff. And I think, honestly, the Jets in the next couple of years finally turn their stuff around and become competitors. Yeah. I'm not saying deep playoffs. I'm not saying we're the new Ravens or the new Chiefs. But the new Dolphins, the new Vikings in the next year or two? Become competitive and then start working out? That's not crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm about ready to do my last take, and our timer's getting low, so we got to get ready to go. You got a timer set up for me?
Mm-hmm.
Final minute. This one's kind of cheesy. You guys are.
Okay.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
The Magic have officially become the Mickey Mouse organization of basketball. And it's funny because Disney's their sponsor. Look, they had an all-star on their team for the last 2 years, Velovich. They traded him to Chicago today. Happy they did that as a Chicago fan. Aaron Gordon sent off to the Nuggets today. Evan Foreigner sent off to the Celtics today. They're trading everyone for picks. And it comes to think about, they're getting all these picks. Why couldn't they win games with all of them? I like Cole Anthony too. And yes, look, I look at the Magic and you look at how weak the East is. And yeah, they were a 7 seed. And yeah, they've done some other stuff. Why could they not win a series? And this comes down from bad head coaching. This comes down from lack of all-stars, which the NBA, it's ran by superstars. But now with no all-stars, they have officially become the doormat of the NBA, the Mickey Mouse organization of the NBA. No one's scared to go into Orlando and play them. Nobody. And honestly, I'd rather go play. I think the Thunder's better than them. I think there's a lot of teams better than them. Exactly. Yep. So that's it. It's the end of my minute.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put it on.
No, you're good.
I think they needed to do this.
Me too.
I see why you do that. But I think they need to blow everything up because, like you said, they can never get out the first round.
No, guys.
Exactly.
Number 1 pick, Markelle Fultz.
He was hurt. Okay, I see what he's doing the next few years because he's actually not a bad role player.
No, obviously a lot better has come out of that 2017.
No, because he had that shoulder issue, man. So I mean,
yeah, no. What my point was saying is I think they're going to be the worst team in the NBA next year, and I think they had to blow it up. They had to, but it surprises me that they couldn't win games with their roster.
They're the new Knicks. I think the Knicks are getting better. I don't know how much better. But I think the Knicks getting better.
I think having Tom Thibodeau.
I'm a Thibodeau fan. I'm a Thibodeau fan.
You like there's like Chicago sports teams.
Yeah, but Chicago fans are split on Thibodeau because he was a great coach in Chicago, but D-Rose injuries can also be pictured as part of that. Like some people blame Thibodeau for D-Rose's injuries.
What's that? For playing him too much?
Yeah, for playing him, especially when he got his first injury. Like we were beating the Wizards by a lot while that was happening. Like I am a Tom Thibodeau fan. The Bulls have not been the same since he's left. I like the coach they got now.
Thibodeau's actually a good coach. I'll give you that.
Yeah. No, and I think what happened in Minnesota with Jimmy Butler and everything was not Thibodeau's fault, and that's why he's got a job with the Knicks, and the Knicks are competitive right now.
Yeah.
So that's it. Wrapping up this episode of the podcast. As I said earlier, I encourage our listeners to do a top 10 list.
Send them in. Yeah.
Send them in if you want. Yep, Instagram DM. We'll be sitting there waiting.
We'll
send one in.
YouTube comment section works too.
Yeah, we'll shout out the best top 10 list. Like we'll any of the top 10 lists we'll get, rank them up. We'll shout it out on our Instagram story.
Especially if you have something crazy.
Exactly. I don't know. If there's a hot take. Sounds good. That's the end of our episode today. See y'all on the next one.